This video is mainly Mr. MadDino's opinion. If you have different feelings towards this film, he is just fine with that. With that being said, here's the intro.
Boys and girls of every age, turn your attention towards the stage. It's the spookiest time of years, where everyone faces their deepest fears. Don't fret, dear children, this season's for fun. It's time to review. Let's go, everyone. Give us your eyes, lend us an ear. That's right, my friends. Halloween is here. Well, it's that time again, ladies and gentlemen. It is Halloween. We all love this time, don't we? It's a time when people can come outside, meet with people, and have a good old time. Hey, we pretty much beat COVID at this point, I'm sure. It's sure stay alert, but still. And what better way to celebrate this spooky time of year with some of our favorite Halloween viewing media. Be it a TV special you watched during your youth, or a little something new that's been brought to the table. Last year, I watched Hocus Pocus 2 on Disney+, and I found it a genuinely fun watch. I didn't watch the first movie until fall 2021, and I find the same bit of enjoyment from the sequel. Like the original, the Sanderson sisters are the ones that really steal the show. These three chaotic witchcrafters are a lot of fun to watch, and they have a hilariously and surprisingly heartfelt dynamic. And that heartfelt side is emphasized in the sequel, especially in the climax. And yeah, look out, Shrek 2. You got yourself a competitor for awesome villain covering of a well-known song called One Way or Another.
One way or another, I'm gonna find ya, I'm gonna get ya.
But I digress. As good as Hocus Pocus is, that's not the movie I'm going to focus this review on. What I'm looking at this season is something that tops all Halloween media. For my first review, I talked about It's the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown, with it being the best Halloween special of all time due to its simplistic animation, non-convoluted plot, wholesome characters, and iconic moments. So that's my favorite Halloween special. Now let's talk about my favorite Halloween movie, a little classic that goes by the name of The Nightmare Before Christmas. Released in 1993, the same year a certain Steven Spielberg film came out in theaters.
You are tearing me apart, Lisa!
The Nightmare Before Christmas gained a massive following due to its direction, musical numbers, characters, and of course, its use of stop motion. From the brilliantly creepy yet whimsical mind of Tim Burton, the movie is the first movie to be about not one, but two famous holidays. The most famous holiday, in fact. A movie that is about both Halloween and Christmas has a lot of potential, and the movie sure delivers. Whenever Halloween and Christmas come around, there is every opportunity for marketing taken from toys, shirts, and little knickknacks. Do people even use that term anymore? As very few people have pointed out, this movie subverts the usual Tim Burton tropes in some of his other films, mostly the inclusion of Johnny Depp and Helena Bonham Carter. You would think that the two lead actors would be the voices behind our two main leads, but no, they're not even in the movie at all. Honestly, I think that's for the best. And then there's the man behind the stop motion itself, a man named Henry Selick. Selick's art style is widely known because it's been featured in other stop-motion pieces of film, with titles that you may or may not recognize: James and the Giant Peach, and one you may not be familiar with, Coraline. Now, Disney was not too sure of this movie at first. They were too comfortable with their 2D animated films to be bothered with a stop-motion movie, especially one with crazy Beetlejuice imagery. They were afraid it would be too dark and scary for kids, and initially released it through Touchstone Pictures. They were probably like, this movie Burton and Selick pitched us is gonna fail, so let's dump it on Touchstone, make it look like their problem. But the joke would be on them, because the movie wound up becoming a box office success, earning $91.5 million against a budget of $24 million. It was nominated for Best Visual Effects of 1993, but lost to a certain other film. Yeah, looking at the current state of Disney financially, I think they need to make better decisions. Anyway, that's the nitty-gritty of the film. Now let's talk about the movie itself. But first, as some of you may know, as previous reviews on Halloween, it is my sister Cameron's birthday today. Happy birthday, Cameron! Anyways, with that being said, let's make Christmas this Halloween. This is The Nightmare Before Christmas. We open on a group of doors in trees, with each of them representing a certain holiday. St. Patrick's Day, Independence Day, Valentine's Day, a lot of days. We enter the Halloween door and we get a song from the residents of Halloween Town explaining about the holiday they celebrate. I love the designs on some of these creatures. Like, there's a pair of witches, a clown who can tear his face off, a guy with a melting face, even the devil himself. We're then introduced to the Pumpkin King himself, Jack Skellington, voiced by Chris Sarandon. I think I mispronounced that. After wrapping up an utterly awesome musical number that just screams Halloween, Jack walks off alone to turn on his Danny Elfman voice to reveal that he's tired of doing the same routine over and over again. At the most iconic location in the movie, he longs for a world beyond his own, where he can find the change he needs. Little does he know, however, that he's being watched by Sally, a Frankenstein monster voiced by Catherine O'Hara. Sally is possibly the second best adaptation of the Frankenstein monster, since she's actually a subversion of the famous story. Whereas Frankenstein's monster longed to be a part of human society, Sally longs to be a part of monster society. But she's forbidden from partaking in the festivities by her creator, Dr. Finkelstein, since he tells her that she's not ready to join them. He makes her believe that she should be dependent on him, and keeps her locked up in a tower. Like someone else I know. Jack eventually stumbles upon the holiday door somehow. Like, oh, wait. Oh, hold on. Just a second. Shouldn't he have gone through the Halloween door first, and then found the other doors? And we just went into the Halloween door in the beginning, didn't we? I don't know. This is literally the only part of the movie that generally confuses me. Jack falls into the Christmas door and is swept up in Christmas magic. He lands at the North Pole and is enamored by the sights, sounds, and traditions of Christmas. He catches a glimpse of Santa Claus and takes off back to Christmas Town in a vehicle he somehow acquires to tell the townsfolk. I don't know, he probably stole it, I'm not sure. Sally sneaks away after drugging Dr. Finkelstein with soup and attends a town meeting held by Jack. Jack explains everything he knows about Christmas, but the Halloween citizens start misunderstanding the traditions and twisting them in their own Halloween visions. Jack is also trying to learn about the meaning of Christmas, and Sally later tries to get his attention by giving him a fruit basket. And Quasimodo almost dropped Esmeralda off a building. Disney gets introverts so well, don't they? She later gets a vision of everything going horribly wrong, but Jack declares that Halloween will be taking over Christmas this year. Jack holds auditions for people who want to help make their own Christmas, including a trio of delinquent trick-or-treaters named Lock, Shock, and Barrel. Jack orders them to go and capture Santa Claus so they can give him some time off while Jack takes his place. What he doesn't know is that they have ulterior motives and plan on leaving Santa at the mercy of their boss/god, Oogie Boogie, who we'll meet very soon. Also, I want to bring this up. This kid right here in the devil costume, Locke, he's voiced by the legendary and recently deceased Paul Reubens, who you may know as Pee Wee Herman. Rest in peace, Paul. We knew you were, but what were we? Jack and the citizens prepare their own twisted version of Christmas to a song/montage, which comprises of them making evil toys and decorations, with even Dr. Finkelstein joining in by creating skeletal reindeer to pull Jack's sleigh. The trio of kids capture Santa Claus and send him down to Oogie Boogie's lair, where we meet my favorite character of the film, the Boogeyman, voiced by Ken Page. Oogie Boogie plans on eating Santa after singing his very own villain song.
Mr. Oogie Boogie, and you ain't going nowhere.
After Sally's plans of stopping Jack's flight fails, she sings of how she will always be ignored by the man she loves and how she may lose him permanently. Meanwhile, Jack delivers his and the citizens' presents to the children of the world, sending them into a worldwide panic. I really love the designs on some of these toys they send out. Like, in what universe are these toys supposed to bring joy to children? They are absolute nightmare fuel. Okay, let's take a look. We got a wooden duck with fangs, a flying vampire ventriloquist dummy, what? A Christmas wreath that attacks an old lady? Okay. A Jack-in-the-Box taken straight out of the Poltergeist? Bats? Bats, yeah, actual bats. A shrunken head? What demented child would want this thing? And then a snake from Beetlejuice. Yeah, don't tell me you don't see this thing eating people on Tatooine. The global military shoots Jack out of the sky while Sally tries to save Santa. However, her ruse to distract Oogie fails and she gets captured as well. Whilst the citizens mourn for Jack, who they believe has been double killed, Jack lays in the cemetery he landed in and sings a reversal of his longing song from the beginning. He reflects upon the choices he made that turned what should be a happy holiday so sour, and he states that all he wanted to do was find a little change in his life, but nobody could ever understand that. So he proudly opts to return to his role as the Pumpkin King. But then he realizes that to put it all behind him, he has to rectify the kidnapping of Santa. He somehow learns that the kids brought Santa to Oogie's lair. Jack confronts Oogie before he can send Santa and Sally into the fire, and a brief battle takes place in Oogie's casino. Jack spots a thread of Oogie's sack caught in his machines and unravels him, causing all of his bugs to fall into the fire, ending his threat for good. Santa takes off to fix the mess Jack's made of things, and Jack returns to Halloween Town to the citizens who are happy to see him alive. Well, dead alive. They acknowledged him being dead during the confrontation earlier.
Jack, but they said you were dead. You must be double dead.
Santa arrives overhead and brings some Christmas joy to the citizens of Halloween Town, who then learn the true meaning of Christmas. Also, fun fact, when the citizens are playing hockey here, that puck was originally supposed to be an Easter egg for people watching. You see, instead of a puck, the animators put in Tim Burton's head, but they changed it to a puck as using a human head would go against the lyric, "That's our job, but we're not mean."
That's our job,
but we're not mean.
Sally goes to the iconic windy hill where Jack meets her and asks to join her. The two share a song where they confess their feelings for each other, where the film ends. And that was The Nightmare Before Christmas. And there is a good reason this movie is my absolute favorite Halloween movie. Let's start with the stop motion. It really does have a lot of heart and effort thrown into it. We get to see the time and work the crew put into this film. Every scene feels organic and like it could actually be a live-action movie. Next, the songs. I love every single one of these songs. They are just so memorable. And they have such an iconic feel to them. Like, you can't have a Tim Burton movie without Danny Elfman as a composer. He's against the law. It should be a new law. Congress should ban non-usage of Elfman in Burton media. It knows when to be spooky yet uplifting, and then sad and slow when it needs to be. Meaning that we, the audience, can feel the sadness that the character is going through as well. Now, if there were a negative I would point out about this movie, it would have to be the pacing. And that could be due to the runtime. Yeah, there's not a lot of time spent between the characters of this film outside of musical numbers and brief bantering. One thing just jumps to another, and the characters just seem to go along with this and get the plot going. There's also the matter of the consistency in the film as well. Like, as mentioned before, how did Jack stumble upon the holiday doors if he didn't go through the Halloween door? Why exactly did the trick-or-treaters suddenly change sides? Was it because Oogie Boogie wasn't around anymore to tell them what to do? This had literally no segue to it whatsoever. And it comes out of thin air. Maybe that's because the movie's almost over, so... whatever. But my problems with this movie are just as small as that. I'm not saying that this movie should be 2.5 hours like Across the Spider-Verse. I honestly think it's fine the way it is. Altogether, it is a beautiful, charming, and overall good film. 9.5 out of 10. Well, that's it for this review. Please leave a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and stay tuned for more. Also, happy 30th anniversary to The Nightmare Before Christmas, and happy birthday again, Cameron. And happy Halloween to all you viewers out there.
Oh, for crying out loud!